Welcome to Moon Mind. In this video, someone said something days ago, and it's still echoing inside you. Maybe it was a sharp comment that tightened your chest. Or maybe it was praise that felt good for a moment, then faded, leaving you strangely empty. Either way, your mind keeps returning to it. Replaying. Rewriting. Rehearsing what you should have said. And slowly, without noticing, your peace becomes dependent on something fragile. Other people's words. This is not a flaw in you. It's what happens when your center of gravity shifts outward. When approval becomes fuel, and criticism becomes a threat. Tonight, you're going to rediscover something different. Not how to ignore people. Not how to become cold or detached. But how to become steady. Unshaken. There are three ancient qualities, quiet, powerful, deeply human, that allow some people to move through praise and criticism without being pulled apart by either. They don't become numb. They don't stop caring. They simply stop being controlled. And by the end of this journey, you'll begin to feel that same stability forming inside you. So for now, let your body soften. Adjust your position. Let your shoulders drop. Take a slow breath in, and let it fall away. For the next few hours, you don't need to prove anything. You don't need to become anything. You're already here. Let's begin with something simple. Imagine you're driving on an open road. The sky is clear. The road is smooth. You're moving easily. Then suddenly, you notice a small sign ahead, a camera symbol. Without thinking, your foot eases off the accelerator. You check your speed. And almost magically, every car around you slows down too. Perfect coordination. No discussion. No agreement. Just silent obedience. And then, a short distance later, once the camera is behind you, everyone speeds up again. This small moment reveals something important. Why did you slow down? Was it because slowing down felt right? Or because someone was watching? Now look closer. There are different reasons people choose to act a certain way, to be careful, to be kind, to follow rules. The first is fear. Fear of consequences. Fines. Punishment. Trouble. This kind of behavior depends on surveillance. Remove the camera, and the behavior changes. The second reason is social pressure. What will people think? Will they judge me? Exclude me? Look at me differently? This one is more subtle. It shows up when you stay quiet instead of speaking honestly. When you smile just to fit in. When you edit yourself to maintain approval. It keeps things smooth on the surface, but inside, it creates tension. Because you are constantly performing. These two forces, fear and social judgment, are powerful. But they don't come from within you. They depend on the outside world. And that's why they make you fragile. Because if your peace depends on other people's reactions, then your peace can be taken away at any moment. Now something shifts. The third reason is different. It's not about being watched. It's about who you are when no one is watching. This is self-respect. It's the quiet moment when you choose honesty, even when lying would be easier. When you return something that isn't yours, even if no one would notice. When you keep your word, simply because it matters to you. This is not performance. This is alignment. The fourth reason goes even deeper. Compassion. Not as an obligation, but as a natural response. You don't want to harm others because you understand what harm feels like. You felt harsh words before, so you speak gently. You've experienced exclusion, so you include others. You don't calculate the benefit. You simply care. And then there is the fifth. Understanding. Seeing clearly how actions shape your inner world. Not as a belief, but as direct experience. When you act with anger, your mind becomes agitated. When you act with generosity, something opens inside you. This is cause and effect, not as theory, but as lived truth. Now notice something. The first two reasons depend on the outside. The last three come from within. And this is the turning point. Because if your life is guided mostly by fear and approval, then criticism will shake you. And praise will control you. You will always be adjusting, reacting, chasing. And that's exhausting. But when your actions begin to come from self-respect, from compassion, from understanding, something changes. You become steady. Now imagine this. Someone criticizes your work. If your center is external, it feels like an attack. Your body reacts. Your mind replays it for hours, maybe days. You try to defend yourself, even in your thoughts. Because their opinion feels like a verdict on your worth. But from a different place. You pause. You listen. And you ask one simple question. Is there truth here? If yes, you learn. If no, you let it pass. Either way, you remain intact. The same with praise. If you depend on it, it lifts you briefly, then disappears. And suddenly you need more. You start shaping yourself to receive it again. But if your foundation is internal, you can receive praise with gratitude. And let it go without needing to hold on to it. This is the beginning of real freedom. Not freedom from people, but freedom from being controlled by them. And now we go deeper. Because even when no one else is watching, there is always one witness present. You. You see your choices. You hear your thoughts. You know your intentions. There is no escape from this awareness. But this is not a problem. It's an opportunity. Because this same awareness can become your guide. Not harsh. Not critical. But clear. Steady. Wise. And when this awareness strengthens, you begin to notice something else. A pattern. Imagine you're sitting at a railway crossing. The barrier is down. A long train is passing. You're in a hurry. And suddenly, someone behind you starts honking. Loud. Repeated. Urgent. As if the train will hear it. As if reality will change. It's almost absurd. But look closely. How often do you do the same thing? Not with a horn, but inside your mind. Arguing with what already is. This shouldn't be happening. This wasn't the plan. This needs to change. This is where suffering begins. Not with the situation, but with resistance to the situation. Plans are useful. But when they become rigid, they turn into expectations. And when reality doesn't match expectations, frustration arises. Then impatience. Then anger. But there is another way. A quieter way. You stop arguing. You acknowledge. This is what is happening. And from that place, you respond. This is the first quality of someone who cannot be shaken. Not control. But acceptance. Not passivity. But clarity. Like gold. You can heat it. Strike it. Bury it. It remains gold. Most people are like ice. Dependent on conditions. When things change, they melt. But you can become something else. Not through force. But through understanding. And this stability grows through balance. Balance in attention. Balance in action. Balance in emotion. Balance in perception. When your attention is steady, your mind doesn't spiral. When your actions are aligned, you trust yourself. When your emotions are felt but not obeyed, you remain grounded. When your perception is clear, you see reality as it is. And from this, something quiet emerges. A life that is no longer driven by reaction, but guided by awareness. So tonight, just begin to notice. Where are you still, honking at the train? Where are you arguing with reality? Where are you handing your peace to someone else's words? No need to fix it all at once. Just see it. Clearly. Gently. Because the moment you see it, you've already begun to step out of it.